Wow, that was a frightening experience. The Nords should really consider burning their dead. Although granted it would make opening urns a lot more harrowing. Oh, I'm fine. Don't worry, that's not blood on my face, it's makeup. No, I'm sorry, war paint. Doesn't help much in actual war though, but you did great. That's why you get first rubbing these graves. Yes, the markets in Sovngarde must be awfully expensive given how desperate they are to take their possessions with them. The name's Rumarin, professional adventurer, bladebinder, and grave robber. Oh, I have a friend who works the stables at Windhelm. That's where I'm staying for the time being. I normally travel alone, but that's because I'm insufferable. If by chance you're willing to overlook that, I might make for a good companion. Well, I was going to go for something more subtle, like a wyvern mounting a cliff racer, but I thought that people might misinterpret the analogy. And besides, there wasn't enough room on my groin to begin with, so I decided to paint my face instead. A dash under the eyes helps with the glare. So does a hood. I do. They're tall, punctual, and have good posture. Oh, I know, but I learned that discussing politics and religion is an exercise in futility. I'll just evade the question, thank you, and focus on more agreeable questions, like the temperature and the local food. Just try and disagree with me on the weather. See? You can't. Well, in some parts of Tamriel, war paint is seen as a tribal mark for warriors. In others, it can be a family crest, an artistic splash, or just too much makeup. Of course, excessive makeup is traditionally a sign you will service wealthy nobles for gold. And before you ask, my price is 100 septims and no kissing on the mouth. Okay, maybe once or twice, but no tongue. Not that it doesn't form an appealing visual, but if we actually did joust with our tongues, we'd likely crack our skulls. And I don't even own a horse, so there's that. Good. Skyrim could use more of it. Humor and sense. Not quite. These are actually a cheap imitation, woven and enchanted to look like their more esteemed counterpart. The point is to convince naive patrons the enchantments were performed by a master. They are not. Well, consider the fact that bandits are twice as naive as the average customer looks. Thus, one ruse leads to another. Not that these robes are only good for conjuring a story. The enchantment is far from spectacular, but on occasion it does help me conserve magicka. That makes it sound so sinister, like some place you buy fur coats made from Khajiit pelts. Nothing was hurt in the sewing of this robe. Well, maybe the college's reputation. Well, I know a guy, a real master of mimicry. Robes from Winterhold, fake scimitars from Hammerfell, there is nothing this craftsman can't replicate. Well, except a personality. It's right there in the word. I summon and bind blades and weapons from oblivion. I was always good with the sword and bow and always too lazy to carry them. Learning how to conjure the weapons I need solved that dilemma. Well, there's the problem. I have skill, not strength. I have speed, but no stamina. I mean, look at me. I'm rather delicate. I'm surprised I can lift anything at all. Ever seen an elf juggle 3 axes while conjuring a 4th? Tie a cherry stem into a knot with their tongue? Now that's magic. Now, if you mean spells and things, that I'm afraid requires more than being born with your ears pointed skyward. That requires Ugh, studying. Well, for starters, traveling light makes it easy to flee. Not that I would advocate running from a fight. No, best to back away slowly until your friends intervene. That's always been my strategy for brawls. The problem is, I never have enough companions to make it worthwhile. No, I can't compare to them, unless by illusion you mean hiding a dagger in my sleeve. Not unless by alteration you mean covering my nose around beggars, or by destruction you mean what time does to love. I consider myself more of a blacksmith. Oblivion is my forge, and conjuration my hammer. Let's go.